The Saints have a lot of free agents, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Here's why I like them. At this moment, the offense and the defense are both really good. Like, you start to look for balance. The quarterback, though down the field, maybe not as accurate as he once was, like the arm strength, but is still an extremely accurate passer generally. Has a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience, is still a winner. The reason I liked them last year as the favorites was because they also had depth. It wasn't just that they had top-end talent at receiver, at running back, at quarterback, obviously, defensive guys who could stop the run. They had the kind of top-end talent, but they had depth. And it was shown when Drew Brees went down, Teddy Bridgewater stepped up, went 5-0. They're going to lose Bridgewater most likely, but they have Taysom Hill, who, when all is said and done, is going to be the successor to Drew Brees. He's not just a gadget player. He's not just a guy who can run the hell out of the 40 and catch the ball and block and throw like he has an arm. He's a guy who Sean Payton has watched now for 3 years and says, that is going to be our next quarterback. So they still have the depth and maybe higher-end depth because Taysom Hill maybe has a higher upside than Bridgewater. I think at this moment, the Saints should be favorites.
Hell no. I don't believe that for 1 second. What the hell wrong with y'all? The New Orleans Saints have had back-to-back 13-3 seasons. They went from a conference finals, bless you, they went from a conference finals to a loss in the wild card game. They lost to Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. And y'all gonna sit up here because the same dude is coming back, an all-world dude, make no mistake about it. Ain't nothing but love and respect for Drew Brees, all right? But my point is, same team. Did something else happen to the New Orleans Saints that I don't know about? Did Ezekiel Elliott all of a sudden arrive? Did Derrick Henry all of a sudden arrive in New Orleans? Something like that happen? I'm sorry, did Antonio Brown get picked up and he's joining the Saints? Is that what happened? What are y'all talking about? There's nothing that happened here other than Drew Brees is staying. Drew Brees, my brother, is big time. I know this, but big time, Mr. Big Time with Sean Payton, who I love, and I was great having him on First Take in South Beach. It was great seeing you, Sean Payton, but damn it, there's no Super Bowl since 2009. Last time I checked, Drew Brees was there all these years. He was there. Was he out? Was he there?
He was there.
Was he there?
He was there.
Some APB out for Drew Brees because he was missing? I don't think so. He was there. Was Sean Payton there? Yeah, he was there. How about Alvin Kamara? He was there. Michael Thomas, was he there? Yes, he was. So all I'm saying is, it's the same team.
Stephen A.
Of course they're Listen, let me be very clear. They're a title contender. The question is, should they be the favorite?
Yes.
Ahead of Seattle?
Yes.
Ahead of San Francisco? Come on.
Absolutely.
Stop it.
Absolutely. Here's the thing.
Stop it.
Here's the thing, Stephen A. It took a miracle, a Minneapolis miracle, to beat them.
That's
3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Took a miracle. Mind you, a miracle.
By the way, I had an afro the size of yours 3 years ago, but keep going. Keep going.
Mind you, a miracle can't be explained by scientific law. That's quite literally the definition. The second year, it took an egregious and erroneous call by officials to keep them out. And then this past year took the overtime defense letting them down. So the question that Roz, who is fighting through illness, posed to us was, should they be the favorite? Absolutely.
No.
Because of Drew Brees. Completion percentage the last 3 years. Record, NFL records. Yards per attempt the last 3 years. Still above his career average. Drew Brees, top 3 winningest quarterback the last 3 years. Drew Brees takes the New Orleans Saints from fringe wildcard team to NFC favorite. You have the Seahawks, I'm with you right there. You have the Packers, I'm with you right there if Aaron Rodgers shows up. But after that, to me, it's a toss-up.
Excuse me.
You got the 49ers, but you're not likely to repeat.
You mean the same 49ers team that dropped 46 or 48 on them?
That 49ers team.
So in other words, I'm sorry.
That took a face mask to beat them, mind you.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask me, please.
Let me ask you a question. Does Drew Brees play defense?
He does not.
All right. Didn't you just say that New Orleans defense let him down?
Stephen A.
I'm sorry. Is their defense going anywhere?
But what's the best defense? The best defense is a good offense. And this is coming from a defender.
Okay, so
the best defense is a good offense.
How did they only score 20 against Minnesota?
How'd they lose again? By overtime rules, sir.
I'm just saying,
overtime
how
rules.
did they only score 20? That's what I asked.
Drew Brees never got back on the field.
All right.
He never got back on the field.
Again, I'm still asking the same question.
What's the question?
How did they only score 20 points? This prolific, high-powered offense, why they only score 20?
It was a playoff game.
Thank you.
If you have to point to a team scoring 20 If you have
Max
to
is
point
talking.
to a team scoring 20
Right.
as a problem, like, oh, look at them, they only scored 20, it tells you a lot about their offense. Of all the dynamic offensive teams, the Saints the last several years have had the best defense of the dynamic offensive pass-the-ball teams. You bring up, what
Professor
about the
Kellerman.
running back? Kamara? Kamara's a great running back, and he can catch passes. You have a great wideout who may be the best in the game at this moment. You still have, as Acho points out, an exceptionally accurate quarterback. You have a backup who can do all the things I just mentioned, throw the ball, run the ball, catch the ball, block. You have a defense that can stop the run better than other dynamic offenses.
So?
At this moment, on paper, they should be the favorites.
Excuse me. No, he's not.
He preaching.
He preaching to a choir that ain't listening. Here's the deal, all right?
Talk to me.
Last time I checked, we could have said that about Drew Brees and the Saints last year and the year before that.
It took a miracle, Stephen A.
And we could have said it all I'm saying is, we have been saying that about the Saints for several years. I am not saying that the Saints can't play. I am not saying they're not a playoff team. I am not saying that they're not in the picture. But I'll be damned if I'm going to pick a team that got bounced out in a wild card spot to Kirk Cousins. All right? I'll be damned if I'm going to pick them to be the favorites.
But here's the thing.
Favorites?
Max is in Vegas right now. You know, Max, Stephen A., you know this. The favorite don't mean you're going to win. The favorite just means the odds say, if I'm picking one team, I'm picking the Saints.
I'm listening to
Ocho. Odds-on favorite, not the favorites against the field.
I'm not listening to Ocho. I'm listening to Acho, and I'm listening to Professor Kellerman. And all I'm trying to say to the both of y'all is this. When you say favorites, what you're telling me is that of all the teams in the NFC, that should be the team that you pick to go to the Super Bowl.
So who you picking then?
Excuse me, I would pick San Francisco or Seattle ahead of them. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.